Good morning, guys. Welcome to our first session for week 3. I need to change that. It says session 2. This is actually session 1. Sorry about that typo, guys. This week, as I have warned you since week 1, is going to be the toughest week not because it's necessarily hard, but because there's a lot to do. There's just a lot to do. So we are really going to have to take this slow because it is an awful lot, and it's going to seem kind of overwhelming, even though it's really not that much. So you guys need to stay calm, take deep breaths. We are going to go through this slowly and make sure everything is correct. So let's get started. Today we're going to go through the announcements. We're going to look at the assignment overview, and we are going to start part 1 of the demo. I think the best course this week will be if I break up the lecture into 3 sessions. Today we'll do session 1. Tomorrow we'll do session 2. And then Tuesday, I will do the session 3. I think that will be the easiest on all of you. It'll make it easier to follow because you can just go from one demo to the next. Don't forget that Christy and I will be in the SSC. Christy's schedule is posted in the announcements. And I will be in the SSC on Thursday from 8 to 11 and Friday from 4 to 11 p.m. Mountain Time. So let's talk about this week's assignment. This week's assignment will be creating the structure in HTML and style with CSS, the 2 of the 4 pages. Knowing how to create an efficient workflow will make your job easier and will be less likely to make mistakes. As with most Adobe products, there are multiple ways to accomplish a given task. This approach is very ingenious because every designer has their own style of working through their design process. This week, multiple approaches on getting the images and text into your HTML pages you created in week 1's assignment mean you can experiment and find out which workflow makes the most sense to you. Any of the methods you use will require attention to detail when setting up the document. So, still working in the exact same folder you were working in week 1, we are going to continue to work on the crew page and the services page this week that you created last week. We're going to populate them with the things that are supposed to be on those pages and write the CSS so they look correct. You're going to start with the services page. It has an identical structure to the home page. So you're going to adjust the subtle differences in the structure and the styling that you can see from the wireframe. You're going to want to make sure the read more buttons have been removed and the type, position, and size are different from the main page in the top area. So the first thing we're going to do is go into those starter files. And you're going to open that wireframe. And we're going to make some notes so that we pretty much have something to go by. And that's what it boils down to. And we're going to kind of make a plan here. Now let's get this wireframe up. And let me change my screen share. There we go. Now this is the wireframe of the services page. It looks a lot the same, right? We've got our big box banner just like we had on the home page. It's missing those read more buttons. Then we have 2 info boxes and 4 images across the bottom. So it's basically the exact same setup. This is going to be the easy page. So we're going to need to open our Dreamweavers. Once you have your Dreamweaver open, you have your page set up here. Let me scale this so it fits my screen and you guys can see it better. And the first thing you're going to do, let's move this and let's share my entire desktop so you guys can see my menus and stuff. The very first thing you're going to do is go up to Site, right here at the top. And you're going to click on Site, and you're going to go to Manage Site. It's going to open up your Site box. You're going to see your lawn care folder that you set up last week. Make sure it's highlighted, and then hit Done. And then on your Files panel, right here on the left, you should see all of your files. You're going to open up that services HTML, highlight it, and then double click on this little icon. You're going to double click on the little icon right here, and it will open it up on your Dreamweaver screen. And it's taking my Dreamweaver a little bit to pull up all my pictures. It shouldn't be, but it is. First thing, pull that slider over to 450 so that you are in cell phone view to start with. And then we're going to need to go through your code. I'm going to click on Code View right up here at the top. Click on Code View. So it pulls all your code so you can see it. Now, most likely all your code is open. You see everything. First thing I want you to do is go to this little header area right here and click this little triangle because the header is exactly the same. Let's collapse it so it's out of our way. So you can't see any of the code except for the very beginning, and then you see those 3 little dots. We're just going to collapse that code so we don't accidentally change something in there. So just collapse it so it's out of your way, because we're going to be working within the main code, between the main tags. Now, we know it's the exact same banner and everything like that except for the button. So you need to find your button code on line 34. It starts with the A tag, that anchor tag. It has a pound sign, and it says class equals button, read more. Well, let's erase it. Just highlight it and hit your delete key. I'm going to hit my delete key a few times and move that line back up so the div tag's right under the H1 tag. And then I'm going to go down to my next div row tag. And again, find that button code that's in that section. It's another read more, and delete it. Bump that div tag up. And then I'm going to go down to the next section. That next column within that row, the info box dark, and erase that button. And that is all of the read more buttons. So you're going to be deleting 3 of them. I'm going to go back to split and just make sure that the buttons are gone. Everything looks right. Yeah, that still looks good. So now we have to start pulling in our stuff. So I'm going to go back to Code View. First thing we need to do is go into your Finder. Go to your lawn care site images folder, not the one in your root folder, not just your images folder, but the folder that actually says lawn care site images. We need to grab some images from this folder to put into our assets folder, our actual site root image folder, so that we can use them on this page. So any of these images that say services, need to get copied. So I'm just going to select them all. Right click, go to copy, and I'm going to go up here to my site root folder right here. Go to my images folder, right click, and paste. Pasted all of my images in there. Close my Finder. So let's take a look at that wireframe one more time. The services photo is the big banner photo. So it's not an HP banner anymore, is it? It's a services page. So let's change it from HP, the class there, let's change it from HP to SP. And it doesn't need to say lawn care landscaping anymore. If we go back into our Finder, we go to our starter files again, and we look at our copy. Let's open that copy page up. That SP banner page is supposed to say, we can handle all your lawn care landscaping needs, customer satisfaction guarantee, no yard too big or small. So we need to change that, and we need to make our code say what it's supposed to. So let's start with this little top part. We can handle all of your lawn, yard, and landscaping needs. So if I go in here, that's the H3 tag here. I'm just going to highlight all of that and paste my text. Now I need to clean up that code because it took the formatting. So I'm just going to bring that back up. We can handle all of your lawn, yard, and landscaping needs. I'm going to get rid of all of those line breaks we did. Now the next line is supposed to say customer satisfaction guaranteed. That's going to be here, right? Between those H1 tags. It's much bigger text, so it's an H1. So again, I'm just going to highlight that text and copy it and paste it, and then clean up my code, get rid of that space. And we know guaranteed needs to be on a different line from satisfaction. So what is the tag to add a line break? What's that tag look like? Yes, that's it. BR tag. So you're just going to add a BR tag there. I'm going to get rid of those line breaks. And after this closing H1 tag, I know I need more text. I'm going to hit my Enter key. We look at that wireframe. The next text is a little smaller than the H1. This is probably more like an H2. So I'm going to copy that text again. And we're going to make an H2 tag here. And paste my text. No large, no yard too small or large. So now if I look at split view, see what we have going on here. We're getting there. All my text is there, but we don't have an SP banner rule, do we? So the picture's not showing up. So on the top of my screen here, I'm going to click on styles.css. Go up to line 1, and then I'm going to scroll down, and I'm going to find that HP banner rule. I'm going to highlight it and copy it. Put my cursor after that closing tag for that rule. Hit my Enter key. I'm going to paste it and change that H to an S. So now it says SP banner. And I'm going to erase what's in between these parentheses. I'm going to erase the URL in those parentheses and retype it. And hit browse. While we're waiting on Dreamweaver to catch up to my browsing, let's check out the service page and make sure we got the text right. Since I took it off of the wireframe instead of our copy text. Let's see. We can handle all your lawn care and landscaping needs. Customer satisfaction guaranteed. No yard too big or small. We've got H1, H3. I really think this is a typo, guys, and this should be H1, and this should be H2. It should look just like that. So H3, H1, H2. Okay, now that Dreamweaver is caught up with our browse and opened my Finder, I'm going to find that image I placed in here. There's my images. So I'm going to go and find the banner image that we are supposed to use. There it is, services banner. I'm going to click open. I'm going to go to File, Save All, back to my source code, and looky there, we're getting there, aren't we? Now, customer satisfaction guarantee. Let's look at what this is supposed to look like in cell phone view. Zoom in here. It looks just like that. We're doing pretty good, except we need some spacing. So I'm going to go back up to that H3, and we can just add a couple line breaks there. And then I need a line break after my H1. I'm going to do 2 there and bring it down so it looks like that. That's looking pretty good. And based on our wireframe, it's spaced out. So I think we're good there. Oh, that looks really good. So that is our image in cell phone. Well, let's bring it out to desktop. The way it's supposed to look in desktop. Customer satisfaction guarantee, no yard too big or small, but our image is a little off place. Well, once again, let's go into our CSS. And I'm going to go to code view so we can see it all. We're going to scroll down. And we're going to find that tablet view comment right there. Find that HP banner rule. Now, as you see, it looks like it's supposed to be smaller, right? Because it shows the whole image when you're in homepage banner tablet. You notice that? Homepage banner tablet. So, easy fix. Since we didn't mock up this page, we got to fix it, right? We have to make that image. Well, I'm simply going to go into my Finder. I'm going to go into that lawn care images, and let's see, is the home image in there? It's not. I'm going to have to go into my root folder, and I'm going to find the homepage banner tablet. I'm going to right click on it, and I'm going to go open with, and I'm going to choose Photoshop. We know the dimensions, they need to be 763 by 377. So we can open up that services image banner as well. Open with Photoshop, because I need to resize that image. Okay, well, our image is opened. We're going to double check the information from what I saw in my Finder and make sure that those dimensions are absolutely correct. So I'm going to go into image size. And we can see it in inches instead of pixels. So in inches, the tablet image is 10.597 by 5.236. And it's 72. I'm going to click on that services banner image. And I'm going to go to image size. And what happens when we type in 10.597, my tab key? It changes to 5.431. Well, that means we have a bit of a problem. This little chain link button right here this little chain link right there. I'm going to uncheck it. And I'm going to change that to 5.236. And hit OK. And then I'm going to go to File, Save As. Go into make sure I'm in my site root folder, inside the images folder. And I'm going to change this to say tablet. And hit my enter key. And yes. Now then, we need to also do a mobile version, right? So I'm going to open up that homepage mobile picture so we can see how big it's supposed to be. Now we know we can't squish that picture to be like this. Otherwise, everything's going to start looking a little skewed. Changing it from desktop to tablet is just a matter of editing the image size. But changing it to the mobile size is going to be a little more, not necessarily complicated. You're just going to have to use some different tools. So I'm going to go to Open With. Oh, my computer wants to be tired today, apparently. Come on. Okay. Sometimes that happens. I'm going to just grab this. Oops. I am going to grab this image. Homepage mobile right there. And I'm going to drag it over to Photoshop up here to the tabs and drop it. And it will open for me. And once again, I'm going to go to image size, so I can get the inches. So that picture needs to be 6.667 by 6.681. I'm going to hit OK. I'm going to go back to, I'm going to close the home page banner tabs, go back to my image here. I'm going to grab my crop tool. Width, height, resolution. Width, height, resolution. You could do original ratios, 8.5 by 11. It kind of shows you what you're doing here. I'm going to keep the resolution. Now then, set the height, set the width. Well, we know the width needs to be 6.661. No, 6.667. And the height needs to be 6.681. Look what's happening here. Well, that works pretty well for us, doesn't it? The resolution needs to be 72. And you can play with this crop box. You can move it around so you get the part of the picture you want. I'm going to take it right from the middle. I'm going to hit my check mark. Pull this back up in here. It gets bigger, but something's not quite right here. Let's hit the undo key. Edit, backwards. Backwards. Let's zoom out some more. Let's try this again. There's my crop. Everything looks right. I'm going to leave my resolution blank. It will carry over what's already there. I'm going to hit my check mark. And I'm going to go to File. And we're going to do Save As. And it's not tablet anymore, right? Make sure you're in the site root folder. I am. This time it's going to be mobile. Hit OK. I'm going to go back to Dreamweaver. So we need to change the tablet view first. That's here. So once again, easiest way, I'm just going to delete all that URL code and start retyping. Hit my enter key so it browses. And there's the services banner tablet. I'm going to hit open. Looking good. And then I'm going to go ahead and scroll down to my desktop view. There's that HP banner roll. Copy it. My enter key. Paste it. Change that to an S. Did that on desktop view, right? Oh, no, we didn't. We didn't copy that. We have a problem. I just switched the home page on accident. I'm going to change that to say homepage banner tablet. We need to copy this rule. Put my cursor after that closing tag and hit enter. Change this to an S. And change my image name. This should say services. Services banner tablet. Now I'm going to go back down to my desktop. There's my SP banner, and I need to switch the picture here too. Services, find the mobile. Actually, it's not the mobile we need. It's the desktop version. So let's try this again. Services. And this one should say, where are we? It should just be the services banner. There we go. And up at the very top, we need to change this one to read mobile version. I'm going to highlight services and just delete it, type that S and scroll down. And there's that mobile image. File, save all. To my source code. Go back to split view. And now we're looking more appropriate. There's cell phone view. There's tablet view. There's desktop view. Now let's think about this for a moment. If we go to tablet view, we see just a little bitty portion of the actual wood that's there. I think we should probably see a little bit more of it, don't you? So let's figure out how to do that. If you go into your CSS Designer, go to your 768 tablet view, and find that SP banner rule. Click on it. We're going to go down to the background properties. Now, you see, it says background image. Well, all of this has to do with the background image. We are going to go down and background position. What does that mean? What if I do center? Change this one to the same thing, center. See how it moved that picture? So now we see the wood too. That looks much, much better. We're still having a problem with this image. Something is not right. When I'm cropping this, something is not going well. So let's close it. I'm going to go back and open up the original services image there. That looks fine. Oh, pixels. That's what we're doing wrong. It should be inches. Pixels, inches, pixels, centimeters. So I'm going to change this. You have to actually type in that IN. IN. Check. There we go. File. Save as. And this should be the mobile version. Go services. Banner mobile. Save. Place. Okay. And file. Save all. Click back out of this for a second. Bring it back over. That's look correct there. But I haven't refreshed in here. Easiest way to get it to refresh is go into that CSS style and go down to that SP banner rule. Let me erase it and type services again. Find the mobile. Click it. Now I need to do the same thing up here, don't I? This is cell phone view, but it's not exactly giving us what we need. So I'm going to go save all. There we go. Now it converted itself and we get what we want. So now we've got our desktop, our tablet, which looks pretty good. Looking pretty good there, aren't we? I think in tablet view, we could get a little smaller. Let's go back to that rule. SP banner. Go back to our position. Right now we're set at center. Well, what happens if we also do background size? We do contain. Didn't really change anything, did it? 168, SP banner, contain. Now, look at that though, it's duplicating itself. We don't want to repeat anything, so I'm going to go down here to the background and do and check repeat. So contain's not going to work for us. What about cover? Cover works pretty well. If you choose auto, you don't get much of a change. And you can clip the background if you wanted to. Border box. And you've got center, left, right, or you could actually give it percents. Things like that. I'm going to stick with center. I think that looks fine. Besides, we need a little bit of spacing in our text, which we don't have here. We have the line breaks that we did, but we don't have any actual spacing. So if we go back into our code view, once again, go all the way up to the top. You've got your HP banner, your button, your info, your info, your info, your info. We don't actually have any rules to pad any of our text in tablet view or in cell phone size. So let's squish it back down. Let's see how our wording looks. And looks really good in cell phone. We don't really need any padding there. We don't need to spread those letters out anymore. The line breaks took care of lining that up for us. So let's try the 768. Now here, we could use a little bit more padding, couldn't we? A little bit more spacing, if you will. So I'm going to go down to tablet view. Go back into code so you guys can see all of my code. And I'm just going to scroll down until I find that tablet view comment. And we already have, no mistake, no, we don't. We are going to need to make some rules here. I'm going to put my cursor after that SP banner rule. Let me hit my enter key and do SP banner by curly brackets. And this needs to be, actually, the first one is our H1, right? That's the rule we did. So I'm going to add an H1 there. And we need some space after, basically. We don't actually have a rule that says space after. But we could add some padding to the bottom. Or a margin at the bottom. Let's look and see what padding does first. And let's say 10 pixels. Save it. Going to split. Well, I moved it down a little bit. We're getting there. Find that rule. There it is. So what if we made it 15? How about 20? That pushed it down a little bit more, didn't it? I think that looks pretty good considering that in our source code, if we go back to that little section, which is right here, we need to add some space for our H3 too. And that's going to push everything down a little bit more. So I'm going to put my cursor after that closing bracket for that rule. And do SP banner, H3, curly brackets, and padding bottom, 20 pixels. Now we're getting somewhere, aren't we? I think we could go back to this H1. Guaranteed looks, customer satisfaction guaranteed. Looks a little close to each other. So I'm also going to do some line height here. Let's see what 10 pixels give us. Gives us enough. What about 20 pixels? Still not enough. This is why I work in percents here, guys. In line height, I always do percents. That pushed it out some more. That looks much better. Now, some of that text is a little hard to read, isn't it? So what if we added a shadow, drop shadow on the text itself? Did we do that? Did we learn how to do that? We have, didn't we? So I'm going to say this. You can do it from your CSS designer. It tends to make it a little easier on this portion. Make sure you click on that 768 rule. Find that SP banner H1 rule. Go to your text properties. And you're going to find your shadow. There it is. And I'm going to do just a very, very small shadow. Black. Like that. Well, there's that one. Find that H3. 2, 2, 2. Black. There's that one. Now that looks much better, and you can really see that text. It's not hard to read. So there are those two. So we need to copy these rules into our desktop size. I'm going to highlight them, select them, right click on them, one at a time. Right click on them and copy it, duplicate it to the 1024. duplicate it to 1024. And if we go back out here to 1024, let's see what we have. Well, we're almost there, aren't we? These need to be adjusted just a little bit. I'm going to click on that 1024 rule, find the SP banner, H1 rule, that's there. The H3 rule is up here. I'm going to start there because I need a margin on that one. I want to go top margin. I want to move it down a little bit. Like that. And then we have this bottom padding. Well, what happens if we add a top padding? Well, it pushes it down a little too much there, doesn't it? So I'm going to have to make the next adjustment to my H1 because I want to push no yard to small or large down to the wood. So it's like that. I could also take this H3. The text looks a little small on desktop size. And go to my font size and set it to extra, extra large. Well, that's definitely too big. What about extra large? That looks better. And that really positions everything the way I want it. So there's the first part. File, save all. That took care of our banner. So that banner is its own row, right? So I can go into my code view, find the row for the SP banner, that little triangle on line 29, click it, it collapses it. So now I can work on the next row and all of the other stuff isn't in my way. So according to our wireframe, the next row is our info box. I'm going to go over and I'm going to go down to my copy text document that we opened. Here's the services page, 2 boxes. The first one is the lawn care services. I'm going to copy all of this. Copy it. Go back to my code. Now we know that it's the next row, which is where we're at. And it's in a column, the 10 column. I'm going to grab all of this code all the way down to those line breaks. I'm going to delete it. So now we end up with a row div tag, a column div tag, and our info box div tag, and nothing between it because we know all of our code goes between the div tags labeled info box 10. I'm going to paste what we copied from Word. Paste it all out there for me. And this first one tells me this needs to be an H2 tag. So I'm going to make it H2. And I'm just going to go and highlight lawn care services, cut it, my cursor between those 2 tags, and paste it. The next one tells me this needs to be a paragraph tag. So after my H2 tag, I'm going to hit my enter key, make that P tag. And then I am going to copy all of the stuff that needs to be between there and cut it, and put it between those P tags, and erase that text I don't need. And this, according to our wireframe, included is, should be on its own line. So that means I need to do a line break here, right? Like that. Pull that back up to fix my text and align it the way it's supposed to be. So next, the notes in the copy text tell me that this should be an unordered list. And the list items should be mowing, edging, hedge trimming, cleaning, all cuttings. So after my P tag, we're going to do that UL tag. And then I need my first list tag. And I'm just going to go down to mowing, highlight it, cut it, put it between that LI tag. Put my cursor after the closing bracket, my enter key. Do the next LI tag, and it's edging. Copy edging, cut it, paste it. There's edging. Then I need another list item, LI. And the next one is hedge trimming. Cut it, paste it, my enter key, and do the last LI tag. Oops, accidentally hit my enter key. Let's try that again. LI, there we go. And cut, cleaning all cuttings. And paste it between those LI tags. And there's my unordered list. I'm going to erase all this extra tag and those little dots that we don't need. Next, the notes say I need a P tag. Oh, I'm going to create my paragraph tag. Cut all the text that belongs there. And it looks like contact us is supposed to be on a line of its own, and it's hyperlinked. Go backwards. And this should say A, href equals quotation. I'm going to do a simple pound sign here since there's not an actual link. This should be to the contact page. We can go ahead and link it. Contact HTML. Space. Closing bracket. After the contact us is where I need this closing bracket to go. So I'm going to take contact us, cut it again, put it between those two tags like that. And then I'm going to erase all of this empty space we created from copying and pasting. So it brings everything back up. Now if we look what happens here. We're getting there, aren't we? It's not exact. We're going to have to do some creative CSS here to make things look the way they're supposed to. According to our wireframe, let's go into Tableau view because that's really where we should be looking for 50. We've got some issues that need to be taken care of, right? So let's look at our wireframe. This should say lawn care services. This should say our promise to you. This text should be white. And it should be in 2 columns. So we're going to have to change some things, add some things to our code. Let's go back up here and do infobox 10. It's your div class. And then we have our H2. And then we have our paragraph tag. Let's look again at our split code and figure out it. Lawn care services is 2 spaced out. Our paragraph is fine. And our list items are going to need to be fixed. Let's go back to code. So the H2 is going to need a class because we're going to have to fix it. So I'm going to do H2 class and do SP dash infobox box 10. So I can change that. Now, we know our list needs to be changed. Got a bit of an issue there, don't we? So I'm going to give it a class too. Class equals, and I'm going to do SP list items. Paragraph here looked fine, but it looked like we had a bit of a problem with our contact. It should be white. We can add a class to this. Class equals SP-link. File, save all. Now let's go back and edit our CSS. I'm right up here in the left corner. We're going to click on CSS styles.css. We are going to go up to the very beginning. because we need to start with that cell phone view because we've got some issues there, don't we? That spacing has to be fixed. And we're going to scroll down to the very end of the top portion of your CSS. So right before the tablet view, comment. I'll put my cursor. And I'm going to do SP-info box. Uh-oh, did I misspell something in my source code? I did. Look at that equal sign. Let's get rid of that. Info box. SP info box 10 H1. What's what that was? No, it's an H2. And we assigned it a class, so I don't even need that to identify it there. My enter key. And we need to set the line height, right? So if I go line height, I want to do, let's make it 150%. File, save all. Go back to split view. Well, that's looking better, but it's still a little too far apart for my liking. So I'm going to find that rule. Go to 120. Well, save all. Something's not working right. So let's go back to our rules that we did last week. And let's see if we find info box dark H2. And font size is fine. We've got this line height spacing of 93. What if we change that? Not permanently. It just doesn't really change anything at the top. So that's not our problem, is it? Our problem is here. Let's look at our source code again. There's no spacing there, so it's spacing itself, which means it's in our CSS. So let's go back down to this rule. 100. File, save all. Not getting anywhere with that, are we? So what if I do H2? File, save all. Still not really getting anywhere. So let's make sure we got everything right. SP-info-box 10. Here's my H2. And we're in the small screen height. Yes. What is it reading there that it shouldn't be? HP class equals SP info box 10 on care services. I am going to change this to an ID. And save it. Go back to my CSS. All the way back down to tablet view. There it is. Instead of a period, I'm going to add a pound sign. And do line height 0 pixels. Oh, well, that took care of it, didn't it? So now if I go 100%, better. Still a little too close, though. We don't want to get too close. Want to make it look good. Well, that's looking better, isn't it? Now we need to work on that UL. So we did SP dash, is it item list or list items? List items. Enter key, bracket, and text align left like that. That's the start. And we can go ahead and do our color here as well. Color, pound, oops, pound, FFF, FFF. That's one too many. My enter key. And then go to the closing tag for that rule. And I need to make another one that's basically the same. List items. This time I'm going to do ULLI. My enter key. And do display inline block. Did we change anything? Not really. What if I just change it to inline? Nothing there either. What if I do float? Oops. Float. Right? Change anything? Well, save all. Nothing's really happening there. So what's going on? It should be working, right? Let's see what we have. ULLI. What have we done? Well, what if we erase this UL? Surely it's not a UL, is it? Because that is the class. The UL is assigned a class. So we don't actually have to specify there's a UL. Now that float works. It floated all right off the screen. So now we go display. Inline block. What happens? Well, save all. What we have? Well, nothing there, is there? So we just delete that, get it to come back. There it is. Display, inline. It's disappeared. Where is it going and why is it disappearing on us? So how do we fix it? How do we make that right? Well, the problem is we've got some LI rules already. Yes, they're not in the same class, but we're going to do the same thing that we did to our SP info box 10. We're going to turn that into an ID. I'm just going to add pound signs in front of these instead of periods. And I'm going to go back into my source code after I save it. And instead of this being a class, it's going to be an ID. Then go back to my style sheet. Now we're having a little bit of a problem. How do we fix this, guys? How do you make it right? What can we do? Display's not working. Go over here to our LI. And we start taking a look. What's going on? Display's not working. But what if we did table column? That didn't work. What about table cell? Mowing, edging, hedge trimming, cleaning, all cuttings. Well, that's sort of there. Got a table column. Nope, it's gone. Table column group. Table row. What about compact? What about inline block? Well, I put it all in line, but we want it to be 2 on each row is what it needs to turn into. The block is our list item. And we need that to be 2 on a row. So does that mean we should create 2 lists and float them? What would happen if we did that? So if we went back to our source code, and we said, okay, there's the first list. And we do a UL here. I'm going to cut this tag, back up here and paste it, fold it backwards. And I'm going to take this back to class. And this class needs to be same here. Class equals a button sp dash list dash items. Like this. And then go back into my styles. Go down to those rules. And add that period. Add that period. And go float. Oops. Oh, li is good. Float. Oops, I erased my semicolon. Float. Left. Right? Float's not working very well, but what if we do display inline block? Ta-da! Now it's looking better. We can actually erase this bottom list there. Display inline SP list items. And save. SP list items. SP list items. We are only getting one though. You gotta notice that. There's the hedge trimming and cleaning. There's the mowing and edging. But they're not spaced out quite enough so that we can see the dots that we need. So let's go back into CSS styles. And let's add a margin here. Margin. It needs to be right. Start with 15 pixels and see what we get. Well, that's better. Let's bring it up to 25 pixels. Better. $35 pixels. 55 pixels. Well, we're getting there, but what are you guys noticing? What's happening here? What if we set this to auto? And we set margin left to auto. Nothing's really happening there. But margin's not really making much of a difference for us, is it? What if we do padding? And we do 50 pixels. We don't want padding all around, do we? It needs to be just to the right. Now it's getting better. I'm padding left. 50 pixels. Better, but not quite right. Instead of doing a padding there, I would do margin right. And 45 pixels. Oh, I pushed it too much. Oops. Not too bad. But we need to move that whole thing over, right? We need to move all of it over. Well, the only way to truly get that done is to put this little UL into a column. So I'm going to make a div tag and do class equals COL. And take this closing div tag, highlight it, cut it, scroll down underneath this UL list and paste it. And hit save. As a matter of fact, we might rename this to SP column. So we have a little bit more control because it isn't like the other columns. So we're going to name an SP column. And in my styles.css, underneath this rule, .sp, there it is, column, do my brackets, and go margin, right, margin, left, auto. Nothing really happened there, did it? What if we do width 60%? Does that change anything? Oh, that changed some stuff, didn't it? 60% is a little too mid, though. Let's go down to 40. 20. 10. Doesn't like the width command. So what if we just set the margin right? And let's say we want to bump it over 10%. Except for this should really be margin left, shouldn't it? We're moving it, just not the right direction. 10% isn't quite enough. Let's try 20. Better. We're pretty centered there. According to our wireframe, it should be aligned to the left all the way over, and there just be more spacing there. So if we match, this would not be the way I design it. Let's just make note of that, because I would do it more like we're doing here, so this was centered. But to follow the wireframe, we wouldn't even need that altogether. It'd be there. And we would just need to increase this leading here. So maybe 8 pixels. $80 does it there. And then left. 10 pixels isn't quite enough. 20. 50. Too much. 40. Too much. 30. Too much. 20. That brought it over, but not quite far enough. Oops. Pixels. Too much. Let's try 25. $27 brings it over about as far as you can see it. As you see, it's not in a perfect alignment there. Now we could go in and create an additional CSS rule and keep going from there, make that another column, that sort of thing, and get it to fit the way it's supposed to. But again, that is not the way I would do it. It's just so much more work, and it's work that's not necessary to get the results you want. So instead, I would do it just like I did that first time and leave that CSS rule there. We've changed it a bit from the wireframe. Absolutely fine, guys. Now I would up this padding on the right a little bit though. 60 pixels. 70 is too much. So we could go 60 there and be fine. And that just kind of centers everything up a little bit. You could even add some of that additional padding to the left. 20 pixels, is it going to be too much? Yes. 10. 15, too much. 10 is too much. Right, let's bump this down back to 50. And that should allow us to get 10 there. Let's put this back down to 40 and play with our alignment just a little bit. Better. 30. 30. There we go. That looks better. File. Save all. I'm going to erase this empty space there. Now we're getting somewhere. We also have this contact us should be white, and it should be on another row. I thought we had a line break here. We don't. Let's add that line break. Like that, and then it needs to be an anchor. And we are inside the SP list. No, we are inside the SP column. So let's go back here. Dot SP, there's our column A. Color, white, so that's pound, 1, 2, F, and semicolon, text decoration, none. I'll save all. Oop, nothing happened. And it does need to be underlined according to the wireframe. So let's go back and look at our rule for a second. We have our UL. We have our column here. And then we have this paragraph tag here. So I think it's necessary. Our SP column ends right there. So that doesn't even contain our rule. But our info box 10 doesn't, but we have an SP link rule. So let's just make this SP link. SP-link. There it is. Except for we need a little bit of padding. It should be pushed down just a little bit. So I'm going to do padding. That's top. Just a little bit of room there. About a margin top. Margin top 10 pixels. 15 pixels. I moved it a little bit. I like my line height rule better. What if I go 150%? I moved it. And I'm going to scroll back up to our list here. RSP column rule and do padding bottom 10 pixels. Just bump that down a little bit. And we could probably do that to info box 10. Line height 120. I want to up this just a little bit. That's better. Items. And I'm going to add a padding. Oops, I accidentally erased that semicolon again. Padding top. Now we have our SP info box 10. It's going to need some padding on the bottom of it too. I'm going to do 20 pixels. So, what rule did we use for that info box? Let's see. Info box 10, right there. Let's change this. And let's actually call it the SP info box 10, which means we can make it an ID here. And we can actually take it off of here. Let's change that around just a little bit. Oh no, that won't work. That won't work. Scratch that, guys. That'll mean more work for you, and I don't want to do that. We're just going to do a class called the same thing as our ID, SP info box 10. And we are going to go into our CSS styles, and we're going to go all the way back up to the top. And we're going to find our 10 box. There it is. We're going to copy all of this code. Code for you so you guys can really see that. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to go to my source code. SP info box 10. I'm going to scroll all the way back down here before tablet view. And there's my ID. I'm going to paste it right here. So SP dash info. And save. Split view. Now we're looking better, except for I want to take some things away. I'm going to take off the color because we've assigned it a color. List items are good. Actually, let's just change this color. We have it set to black here. I want to change it to white. FFF, FFF. That works. Change that line height. That's good. SP list, inline block, 3030. Yes, column. No. See, I'm going to change this to 20 pixels. And our link, I'm going to up this just a little bit more. Not 2000. Let's try 200. That works better. Now, this looks correct, except for text align. Should say left. Now, if we change it like that, we have our SP list items, display. We take off all of that. Not going to work. If we take off just the right, doesn't really change much. We take off the left, and moves it over a little bit and really realigns it more than it was aligned before. So I'm going to remove that left. We're going to look at our column. I take that off. Oops, don't need to take it off, but we could change this a little bit. Something like maybe 5%, 4%, 4% will do it. And that brings it back over. It means we could probably up this some. 50, 80, 180 is too much. 20, 100, 90, 95, 98, 99. We could do something like that, and it would look fine. Now, the contact us, this link should be centered. So I'm going to have to do a text line for it all on its own down here. File, save all. And let's take a look at our tablet view. Well, according to our wireframe tablet view, should look the exact same except for it needs to float because our other box is going to have to be beside it. So I am going to go into code view and highlight these roles. We may need to put all of those over there. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this into 768. List items, duplicate 768. SP column, duplicate 768. SP link, duplicate 768. And then go down to my tablet view. There's the banner. There's my info box 10. I'm going to copy this. Copy. Paste. And put the SP in front of it. Save. One split. Ta-da! We need to make a few changes though, don't we? So let's find that SP. There it is. Got my color. 000. That needs to be changed to FF. And then we need to find info box 10. Line height still looks okay. List items, well, that doesn't look okay, does it? Let's change this. Erase it here. Oh, can't erase it. So we need to change it. What if I just simply changed it to 0? That puts them up, but it puts them too close together. So what if I do 10 pixels? Better. 20 pixels. Even better. 30 pixels. Well, that's moving them. That's looking pretty good. Margin left now is set to 4%. What do I change it to 8? 10, 20. Oh, that's better. But we forgot something. We're going to have to find our info box, SP info box rule again, and SP info box 10. And in tablet view, is everything centered? Nope, it should be left aligned. So I need to do left. That looks better. And there's our contact us. And left auto. Going to right auto. That. Save all. Wow, that looks pretty good. So now we have to do our next box. So once again, back to our copy text. And landscape services. I'm going to copy all this. Copy it. Go back to my source code. Go back to code view so you guys can see where I'm at. So this is our info box 10, right? I'm going to click on that div tag. Go right over here to line 40. Click that arrow. It's going to collapse it for me so that I'm working on the info box dark. Once again, I'm going to add that SP in front of it. And then I'm going to highlight everything between the SP div tags, these two div tags, highlight all that stuff, delete it, and paste what I just copied. And go through here and do exactly what we did to the top column. So H2, cut this, goes right here, paste it. And then I need a paragraph tag, P tag. And there's a big paragraph here. Cut all this, paste it, and then clean up and add line breaks. So do the line break. And right here, it's going to need a line break. And then we have a P tag. Then I need my anchor tag. So once again, I'm going to add that line break and then add my anchor. And again, this goes to the contact page. Oops. Paste it between there. And I'm going to give it a class. Class equals SP. Actually, I don't have to. Yes, I do. SP link. I'm going to call it the same thing, like that. And I'm going to get rid of all this empty space. So everything's all together. So now, back to my rule. We called this SP info dark. I'm going to go all the way back up to the top. Go down and I'm going to find that SP banner rule. And not the SP banner rule, sorry guys. The SP info box 10 rule that we created. Where did it go? There it is, SP info box 10. Copy it. My cursor right after that closing bracket. Paste it. Instead of 10, it's going to be dark. All right, and I'm going to go back up and find that dark rule. Info box dark. Info box dark. And I'm going to copy this color. Copy. We should be carrying over our branding. And info box dark. Make sure this color matches. And text color, FFF. Yes, that all looks good. So let's save it. See what we have right now. Well, we're getting there, aren't we? And let's see, padding top, right, left, bottom. Yes. Height 300. It's still on the left. And so then I'm just going to go down, and we have an ID here. Let's go back to our source code. That was on our H1. I don't think we need one on this box. They've landed in the same place, so we're good. We don't have any list items. We don't need that separate column. We are going to need the link. And we are going to need some line height going on here. So let's add it to our rule here. Line height, 50%. We're getting there. And I think we do need that roll up here. So let's go here and let's copy this. Copy, paste it, and change it to dark. And go into our source code. Scroll down to that info box 10. We've already done that. It should be on H2. I have to close it again. Oh, no. There's our banner. Oh, there's our row. It should be here. And we're going to add the ID right here in that H2 tag. So ID NSP dash info dash box dash dark. Save it. Definite spacing there. That's good. And we have this paragraph rule. So let's go class equals SB paragraph. Let's go back into our styles.css. And we're going to have to add some things here. Oops, .sp paragraph, padding bottom, so it's going to be too much space, so we do 5 pixels. That might go somewhere. And we're going to have to go back to our code. And we're going to have to make some changes here. Let's make this a paragraph tag, a new paragraph tag. So we're going to have a few here. All the way down to that line break. Cut it. Paste it. And that means we'll miss a closing tag here. Oops. Like that. File. Save all. And we're going to have to add that rule. Plus equals SP dash paragraph. Look what's happening there. Class equals SP dash paragraph. Now we're getting somewhere, aren't we? The only thing we're also having a problem with is, let's take out this line break. That pulls it back up. So we're getting there. Go back to our 450 so we can really see that. Yeah, we're getting there. Almost there. Now let's take a look back here. We've got a bit of an issue right here, don't we? It's pulling that contact way down, and we've got a lot of space right there. Let's go back and make some adjustments to our SP info box 10. We've got an issue going on there. Line height. It's dark. This is 10. Heading top, left, bottom. Let's see what else is causing this. SP banner. Here's my column. Still not too much. What if it is? What if we set that to 0? Nope. It's to be 10. We have our line height. Let's go to 10. Let's make a few changes here. Let's bring it down, but you could make those small adjustments. Let's go to 30. That's better. That means on the info docs dark box, we're going to do the same thing. It's going to have to be set to 30. And definitely needs to be spread out some more. So SP padding bottom for 15. 20. That's better. We are not displaying correctly there. There's our list in one block. We bumped that down to 90. That was the problem. So we can change this back. Go. Oops. 44. Yes, that makes it better. That does it. It was that 99 that was throwing us off. Okay, so then we're in our tablet view. Go here. First one looks good. This one's still a little short. So let's go down to our tablet view. There's our tablet comment. Our code. There's the SP banner, style nav, info box 10, info box dark, SP info box 10. Copy it. Paste it. Take out that space. And change this to dark. And then info box dark. I'm going to copy this color again. And paste it into the SP info box dark. Save it. Split. Now we've got same size boxing. Our text is the same. We are looking really good here. So now, fill box dark. So we're pretty good there. Let's go back to our source code. We've got to add some stuff. So now we have finished our list items. Those are all taken care of. So that row is completely done. Collapse it. Got a little arrow next to it. And it's closed. So now we're at our images. Well, we have 4 images to make, and they should be the exact same. We're just doing different images, right? So I'm going to erase services. Home page there, I'm just going to highlight it and click my S key. Well, there's 1. And move down to that next line, do the same thing. There's 2. And then the next line, there's the home page. Change that to an S and choose the services inner image for number 3. Let's see where it is. Not showing up here. I'm gonna look at my Finder and see what's going on here. We have landscape picture 1, 2. Oh, they should change to lawn care. That's the difference. I'm going to make that an S. I've got the landscaping. There's the lawn care. This should be an S. There's the lawn care. File. Save all. Let's take a look at split view. Oh, now we're talking. Look at that, guys. That one put together pretty quickly. Let's take a look at our desktop view, though. Got some things we're going to have to change here. The banner looks good. Our 2 boxes look fairly decent. There's really not, you can play with your padding. I'm going to leave that up to you guys. Go back and duplicate those rules into the desktop view for the lawn care services 10 box and play with that padding to try and even these up a little bit. Your pictures work by just changing that little bit of code. Changing the image for each one of those columns. And I put them in the exact order. You don't have to do any rules or any additional coding for those. It's just the top portion that you have to work on a little bit. Otherwise, guys, this is it. This is the first page of week 3. Step by step. Tomorrow, I'm going to do the second page, the crew page. It's going to take some additional work because it is an entirely different setup. So I'm going to do it tomorrow. I want to break these up. This week, while we usually meet for 4 hours, this week it's going to be a little more than 4 hours, guys, but I want to do these step-by-step demos and try to do them slowly. And try and make the same type of mistakes that you guys are going to make so that you see how to fix them so that this week can go as smoothly as possible. So guys, I will see you tomorrow at 4 p.m. Mountain Time.